Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. Last of the mystery beers. Mystery beer number 6, courtesy of my boy Cameron. I'm going to call him Cam in this video because that's what we do. Yeah, let's see what we got going on here. A little bit of barley wine, maybe. Rye wine, maybe. We'll see what's what. Mystery beer stylings, paper towel, electrical tape. What more do you need as far as the beer goes? Yeah, it definitely looks the part of, like, it looks pretty dark, probably, to y'all. But it definitely poured more like a barley wine, a wheat wine, rye wine-ish kind of color, khaki-colored head, and just has this kind of, like, viscosity to it that makes you think it is something dense. It's a 12-ounce can. It looks big, so I'm assuming we're dealing with something high ABV. The nose? Yeah, so we're dealing with a barley wine. We're dealing with some kind of wine. Let's put it that way. It could be wheat wine, barley wine, rye wine. On the nose, it comes off as barley wine to me. Big, huge, icky, sticky, sugar daddy vibes to it. Like big, huge, sweet graininess, rich maltiness. Maris Otter to the T, gobs and gobs of it. Then you have this nice kind of a little bit of Tannakop, a little bit of Fugly, a little bit of Kent Golding, that English-style barley wine. We're definitely not dealing with an American-style barley wine. And then you just get this nice, rich kind of barrel character. You're getting barrel and spirit. You're getting a nice, it smells like bourbon. Could be something outside that, but it's like a bourbon barrel age with a nice kind of vanilla, nice big, huge coconut component to it. So it smells like a really well done, really kind of decadent. Awesome. Barrel aged behemoth. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Okay. Guess what? It's a bourbon barrel aged barley wine. We know that. It's gotta be Revolution. I mean, listen. I've been doing these in order of what Cam has numbered them as. So he did them 1 through 6. He doesn't necessarily set them off like I want you to do them 1 through 6. I just decided to do them through 1 through 6 just for my own kind of personal whatever's OCD isms. And this would be the second Revolution beer. The other one also had a gold top to it. So it's kind of tipping its hat a little bit. On the bottom here we have that this beer is relatively fresh. It says it was filled in October 24th of 2023. So you're talking about only a couple months old, 3 months old at this point. And it's got to be one of their barley wine series. What is their barley wine? Straight Jacket? Just figuring out which one it is. It's delicious though, man. That's the thing. And that's the one thing, probably be the best way to kind of compartmentalize this video, because it's a Revolution barley wine at, 15%, and it's really delicious. That's one of the things that I tend to kind of fail to pinpoint when it comes to a lot of the kind of mystery beers, is I always tend to forget about talking about how much I like the beer because I analyze it too deeply. It's like being a musician, listening to music. Sometimes you step outside of just enjoying the music and you try to listen for errors and changes and things that you might not notice. That's kind of how mystery beers roll. And this kind of relieves me, absolves me of that, being that I could be totally wrong here, but I'm just assuming we're just pretty much talking about, one of their barrel-aged Straight Jacket. I think that's their barley wine. Bourbon barrel. I could see there being maybe vanilla added to this, but that could just be a big barrel characteristic, so it's not like I have to sit here and unmask a huge mystery. But it really is kind of some of the best barley wine in going nowadays. It's probably the best, like, man, that coconut is so big. The best consistent is probably the best way I could put it. Kind of barley wine that meets what I deem as kind of Mount Rushmore of what barley wines should be. When I'm putting barrel-aged barley wines in with regular barley wines, because a lot of times, a 15-year-old barley wine That's done really well, really well. Again, we're echoing a lot of stuff we typically say here, but J.W. Lee's, Thomas Hardy, old stock ale, 15 years. This is kind of what they drink like without the barrel aging process. Revolution is utilizing the barrel aging process to kind of accelerate that aging and bring you to that sugar daddy, almost to raisinettiness, which I think is kind of Mount Rushmore again. We keep using that term of what barley wines can be. And it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful kind of combination they've ended up figuring out over there. I mean, I don't know what it is about Midwest barley wine. Kunin, Revolution, well, I mean, there's some others out in the West Coast, Firestone Walker, Sukaba. Some do it really, really well, and they've just figured out that puzzle. They've solved that riddle of the barley wine, and they do it really well. Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. I think it's actually just a base now. I don't think there's anything else to it. I don't think it's their rye straight jacket. I don't think it's a rye wine. I think it's just their, and I watch me be wrong on straight jacket. It'd probably be under some other name. I think the Cafe Death, that's their coffee, and then Death's Tar is their stout. I think straight jacket is barley wine. I think it's just their base straight jacket. Done and done just with a really expressive, really beautifully well done barrel that for its ABV, which I assume this is kind of tipping right around 15%, isn't hot and just gives you this lush sugar daddy vibes with this beautiful, huge coconut characteristic from the barrel and a very, very expressive yet not hot spirit. The whole thing about this beer being big ABV and not being hyper aggressive is probably the most prettiest part about the beer. Done and done. So, I don't think there's anything else in it. I honestly don't. I just think it's just a beautiful barrel, beautiful beer. Let's see. What do we have here? We have... Oh, it's the rye. See, I went down there. I didn't think it would be right. It wasn't a big spiciness to this. Rye to Heaven. It's a rye ale aged in rye bourbon barrels. I am not well versed in my ryes, but typically rye exhibits a spice for me. I'm not getting it here. I'm getting just a rich, decadent, soft, rounded, edged barley wine here. They call it a rye ale. It's a rye wine. 15% spot on the ABV. Soft, sweet, silken sipper. That is a very, very Deepwood series. We need more rye wines in our lives. $28 for a 4-pack. Really? That is very cheap. I thought this was... I know some of the Revolution stuff because he writes, Cameron's very nice about putting notes on his stuff. I always imagine their stuff. I always hear about it being $40 for a 4-pack. You're talking about this? Really? $7 a can? For this level? That's a deal, man. Good God. So this is rye ale aged in rye bourbon barrels. You're going to tell me there's rye in here? Fine. It's so slick and silky. It is soft, sweet, silken sipper is what it is. They literally express exactly what they're trying to say on a can here. Look at that can art. Not ultra black can art, which is typically what Revolution does, but you still got that gold and still got that coolness going on there. And just honestly, a very fantastic beer. They're barley wines, wheat wines, rye wines, wherever you want to call them, whatever you want to classify them. If you want to split hairs and talk about style and BJCP and this and that and the other thing, whatever this is, it's very much an aged hardy is what it is, as opposed to being a rye wine. It lacks that huge spiciness. It has that little bit of tannicness. Maybe that's what I'm getting the rye from. Maybe I'm confusing it with a little tannic hop thing. That's certainly possible. But what you're left with is an absolute epically well done dessert of a beer. Not a beer that is desserty, like it's reminding you of dessert. This is a dessert beer that is just rich and just opulent. Opulent would be the word. I don't know if I've used that in quite some time. Opulent is where I classify this beer as, and it's absolutely fantastic. I don't even know what else to say. Just actually talk about the flavor and mouthfeel and all that stuff. That might be nice since you're watching. It is both dense, but at the same time drinkable. That silky portion of it, that's why I laugh at it, because it's so spot on. There is a tannic / bittering kind of opposite to the sweetness of the beer. So probably some of that rye, definitely some a little barrel charred, definitely a bit of roasted malt, maybe a little bit of roasted malt. Probably not. It's probably more like just toasted, roasted Maris Ottery-ness in there. That's not bringing a bunch of it. And then hops that are in play there. On the other end of things, the spirit and the sweet side of the barrel just express themselves very beautiful. Coconut for days. Sugar Daddy on display. Airing a little bit towards Raisinette, but not just there yet. Absolutely pleasure to drink. This is one of the better wines that I've had as late. Yes, Mount Rushmore status. As broad as that spectrum goes. Yes. Is it one of the better wheat wine / barley wine / rye wine that I've had? Yeah, it is. Honestly, this is it. I find this for $28 a 4-pack. I'm buying this probably once a month, if not more. And this is like every now and then I'm cracking it. Every now and then I'm cracking it. You know what I mean? Like this is just, I want to watch some TV. I want to relax. I want to drink something that's super, just fantastical. You're going to be hard pressed to find a wine better than this. Yes, it's Mount Rushmore status. Value and availability, brewery only, I think. Oh, does it hit a shelf? Let me know. But $20 4-pack. I mean, honestly, at this price point for this kind of beer, you have to compartmentalize that because you think $20 4-pack, that's really expensive. But if you talk about it in ounces, you know, if you do 24 ounce, you know what I mean? So what's a bomber? 500 milliliters. How many ounces is that? Like 20 ounces? So you're paying a bomber size of this is $14. What? That's fantastic. You're talking about bigger than the 750 for $28. And you're getting it in 12-ounce cans. The only way this would be better if they just divided it into a 6-pack of 8-ounce cans. Because that's kind of like the perfect dosage of this beer, but I'm not going to quibble. And whatever with this is fine. Absolute steal. And leave you with, if you like wine like this, if you like aged barley wine, if you like aged barley wine, and if you also like aged barley wine, along with bourbon barrel aged world-class barley wine, you'll like this. So there you go. Mystery beer in the books. It's not a mystery. This is delicious. Mystery beers. Matt@massivebeers.com. You can always shoot me an email if you ever feel like sending them off. Only way we could do them. As far as Revolution goes, have you been to the brewery? Have you had their beers? Have you had this beer? What are your thoughts? What is your favorite barrel-aged beer from Revolution? And bonus content. What's your favorite non-barrel-aged / big beer from Revolution? They get so much play, so much pub for their barrel series. There's got to be great beers on the other end of the spectrum. I don't see them. We see, you know, the Anti-Hero, a couple IPAs here. What's going on the other side of things? Do they have a lager program? Do they have like a really cool low ABV program? I don't know these things. If you know, please, let's talk about it down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of mystery right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.